Hey guys, it's Melissa here. Today I want to talk to you about trusting your intuition and trusting your instincts. Have you ever heard someone say about someone else that he or she had killer instincts? Well, what they're really saying is that that person really knows their intuition and understands how to use their intuition to help them. And in that way, they seem like a more powerful person. But it's really just because they are trusting in their intuition, and their intuition is guiding them exactly in what they should be doing and the next steps that they need to take. A lot of people who work in HR, for example, they have to use their instincts when they hire people because your energy enters a room before you do, right? And so a lot of people who work in those kinds of fields are very intuitive because they have to be. They have to know that anybody could write anything down on a resume. It doesn't necessarily have to be true. I mean, some things can be fact-checked, but not everything can. So you have to really be aware and keen of who's walking into your office. You have to know that energy before it walks in. And for some people, they're very good at identifying certain types of energy. Because people can lie, energy does not lie. So a person can say, I'm this or I'm that, but their energy will tell you if that's true or not. And it's the same thing when you come across people in your life. If you're trying to figure out, should I trust this person? Should I trust this situation? How do I know? You need to rely on your instincts and realize that that person's energy walks into the room before they do. And if you can tap into someone's energy, you can, and some people might say, well, I don't have the ability to do that. Yes, you do. I'm telling you, you do. Everyone has that ability. It's just some people are better at doing it than others. It's a skill like anything else that can be practiced. You can pick up on someone's energy, and most of you do it without even realizing that you do it. Have you ever come across a person who, upon meeting them, the back of, like the hair on your arms or the hair on the back of your neck just stands straight up and you get goosebumps, and not in a good way? You think like, I want to get as far away from this person as fast as possible. Well, that's because your intuition is telling you that this person's energy is not good. In the same way, you might meet someone and immediately just feel like this is the person you've been waiting to meet, like they're your soulmate, or they're just someone you feel like you've known forever. And that's because you're picking up on that person's energy as well. In the opposite way, you're picking up on the positive energy, not the negative energy. So as I said, your negative energy is going to walk into a room way before you do. So when we go into new situations, whether it's maybe you have a job opportunity or maybe you have a new relationship, whatever it might be, you need to be using your intuition to decide if this is a good fit for you. And it might take practice at using that intuition, or at least recognizing it, because it's there and you've had it all along. You just need to rely on it and learn how to rely on it. So it's important that if you're about to make a big decision and you're not really sure what you should do, it's important for you to take time alone and to sit with yourself and ask your questions of the universe. Is this the right fit for me? Will I be happy if I take this job? Is this going to benefit me? And then just sit and listen to what comes to you. For some people, it comes as just a knowing, like a thought pops into their head. That's how it does for me. I just get a thought that pops into my head, and I'll sometimes write things down and what I write. So I'm not really thinking about what's popping into my head. I'm just writing, and then I go back and look at it. And then I know that it's not my ego getting in the way. It's just my intuition telling me what I need to do. Some people hear things pop into their, like they hear like someone's talking to them. They hear that. For some people, it's just a knowing. It's just I know this is my gut feeling. This is what it's telling me. This is what I need to do. So for everyone, it's different. Some people actually get images that they see. And everyone's different in what they get. You have to learn how to work with what you're given. And you have to learn how to know and how to trust what you're given. Because oftentimes the other thing that happens is we are given guidance. Our intuition tells us don't do this, and we ignore it and we do what we want anyway, even though we knew that our intuition was telling us not to do something. And then after the fact, we always say, oh, well, hindsight's 20/20. If I had only known. And the thing is, you did know. Your intuition was trying to tell you, but you weren't listening to it. And think about, I'd like you to go back and think about that. Have there been times in your life when you had to make a decision and you made the decision, and after you made the decision, you thought, that really didn't seem like the right choice? Could you have been ignoring your intuition? Was your intuition telling you to do something else and you were ignoring it? Or think about a time when you did listen to your intuition and your intuition paid off. Because there are a lot of times we have those moments in our lives when we wish that we would have gone with our gut reaction, and we find out later that we should have, that we weren't listening and trusting our intuition. Our intuition is something that's really built in, and it's connecting really our higher selves to us, and we know what choices we should be making. We have all of that information. We just have to learn how to tap into it. And that's the hard thing, is learning how to tap into that intuition. So what are some things you can do to help you tap into your intuition to get better at that? Like I said, meditating is a great thing. Try sitting for, I say 5 minutes, but there are people who can sit for up to 20, 30, 40 minutes a day in total silence. And those people are really, really good at tapping into their intuition. But I would say start with maybe 5 minutes. Or if you have to start with 1 minute, it's like when I had to think about doing a plank for a minute, I couldn't do it for an entire minute at first. But I started with 20 seconds and then 40 seconds. And then I kept building until I was up to a minute and then over a minute. So the same way you can do that with meditation. You can start with a minute if you need to. What I do is I just take my phone and I set a timer. And then I just put the intention out there that I'm just going to sit in silence and listen to what comes. And if a thought pops into my head, I acknowledge it and let it go. And then I just try to go back to just sitting in stillness. And it's when you're sitting in that stillness that you actually get information that comes to you. For me, when I really want to get some knowledge, get information, or tap into something. When I tap into someone's energy when I'm about to do Reiki, I sit in stillness and I just quietly meditate, and then I ask the universe what I need to ask. What can you tell me about this person to help me heal them for their highest good? What do I need to know? Now, I don't need to know everything about this person, okay? So those of you who are thinking, oh my gosh, she's going to know what I did last week. No, I don't ask those things. What I ask is, what do I need to know for your highest good? Okay? And then I get what I get. I tap into your energy, and then I get what comes to me. And what comes to me can be things like physical symptoms, emotional symptoms, anything that you've gone through recently that might be affecting you. Those are the kinds of things that I get. And I get things that are like, she's really angry with her boss at work about something. She's feeling very resentful. And I don't necessarily get the details. I just get what I need to know, which is that you're holding on to feelings of resentment, which are things that can make you physically sick. Because then I can go in and heal that area, and we can talk about that and help you get rid of those feelings of resentment, and help you to move past that and clear that energy out, which is what causes the healing. So me sitting in meditation, I get quite a bit. But that wasn't that way at first. When I first started doing this, I would get very little. I would just get 1 or 2 things. I might get 2 words. And when I first started doing Reiki and I was doing my practice and I would sit for my meditation, I would get like 2 words. I would get like back and head maybe. So I would say, do you have back pain and head pain? Yes, okay. So I knew in those just 2 words I was getting that they were correct, because everyone I was connecting with would say, yes, that's exactly it. Yes, yes. But it wasn't that much. And the more I started doing it, the more I could connect, the more things that I started getting. And I started getting things like emotional feelings, situations that were happening, and specific situations like, are you going through a divorce and you're feeling a lot of hurt and anger? I would get things like that. So it would come more and more, but it was because I practiced more and more. So it's like any kind of muscle, the more you do it, the more you work at it and practice, the bigger that muscle is going to get and the more you're going to get out of that. So if you can practice this meditation more and more, you're going to be able to connect to your intuition more and more and connect maybe to others' energies. And we don't connect to energies of other people for anything negative or harmful. There are people out there who do that. They will connect with people because they want to, I don't know. And the only reason I say this, I have seen this on Instagram where people will say, we cast black magic, we'll do spells on getting your loved one back. Don't do that. Please don't do that. Please don't use tapping into intuition and energy for anything bad, because believe me, that's going to come back to you too. You cannot mess with someone's free will. You can't will your partner back to you. If it's not meant to be, it's not meant to be. And casting a spell on someone and taking away their free will is just wrong. And do you really want to get somebody because you had to force them to be with you? No, you don't want that. And you'll always know that's why they were with you. So don't do things like that. And don't connect to other people's energy for anything bad. Okay, I just put that disclaimer out there because I know that there might be one or two people who would say, I can connect to my ex and see what no, just don't do that. Okay, don't put yourself in that kind of a position. You're using this to connect to your own intuition. And maybe if you're trying to help people, doing it for good. We don't do this to try to manipulate people or don't do that, okay? You're using it for good, only for good. So we're not using it to manipulate anyone, but you can use it to see if people are manipulating you or trying to do harmful things to you. You are protecting yourself, but we don't want to ever put anything negative out on anyone else, because with karma, everything comes back to you, so you don't want that stuff happening to you. So again, sitting in quietness, you can also do a third eye opening meditation. That might be the next meditation that I offer for sale on my site too, would be third eye. I do have a short one on my podcast here that you can go and look for, but I might do a longer one that would be a lot more about opening your crown chakra and your third eye chakra. But both of those chakras connect to the divine and to our intuition and allow us to be able to really pick up on energies and people and things like that. So I will probably do another one of those meditations. But you can do the third eye opening, you can do a crown chakra meditation. All of those things can help you in connecting to your intuition. And you can also call on your spiritual team to help you. You can just put that intention out there that, hey, I'd really like to be able to connect better, hear more my intuitive guidance. So please allow me to connect with my higher self and to allow me to connect better with my intuition, to hear more clear guidance, giving me clear answers about what I should do in any given situation. So we can ask for that from our spiritual team. And again, like anything else, it's something you've got to continuously work at and practice, Some people are born with a more natural ability for that. And I believe a lot of times environment has to do with that, because if you had parents who told you it's this way, there's one way, and you cannot see spirits and you can't do anything like that, that probably made you stop opening up to your intuition in that because you didn't believe in it. But it's definitely there, and it's definitely necessary to listen to that intuition. That inner voice is guiding you. We all had a path and a purpose in life, and we came here to fulfill that purpose. And sometimes we get a little lost on the way, and our intuition is supposed to be like our internal GPS system that is guiding us where to go. And if we don't have a finely tuned intuition, we're going to get lost. It's going to be like how my GPS and like my actual GPS, the relationship I have with my GPS, that thing probably thinks that I'm the dumbest person alive, because it will tell me to go right and then I go the wrong way, because it's always like last minute and I pass the turn and I have to turn around and then it's like recalculating. So it's like we don't even speak the same language, the GPS that I have. I have a much better GPS with myself, my intuition. So start using that internal GPS that you've been given, because it's there to guide you and you should trust it. And that's what you really need to learn how to do, because I feel like many of you are hearing your intuition, but you're not listening. It's like it's waving its arms in front of you and saying, hey, listen over here. I told you to go that way. Don't do that. And you're just going through and doing it anyway. And your intuition is just like throwing its hands up like, all right, I've tried. I cannot get a hold of this girl. She's not listening. We are just not listening. That's the message I'm getting. We're not listening. You need to slow down. Maybe some of you are just going too fast through life and you're not taking the time to slow down and actually ask for guidance and receive guidance. You're not listening to that intuition because you're going so fast you can't hear it. Your GPS can't keep up with you. You're going too fast. So you've got to slow down and take a moment, take a breath, sit in that stillness and listen to your inner guidance, because it is guiding you. It is trying to give you signals. It's trying to tell you where to turn and what time you should arrive and when you should be at this destination, and you're not listening. And if you're going way too fast, it's not going to be able to keep up with you. We cannot take life at 200 miles an hour. It's just not possible. And I am living proof of that in a lot of ways. I think this whole last bout of me getting sick is because I was doing too much. That was my body telling me to slow down. And it took me like being knocked on my rear end to listen and say, okay, yes, I will slow down. I will not do as much stuff. I'll try to take it easy. And I needed that. I needed to rest. And I did. I slept for probably 12 hours the other day, which I haven't done that in a long time. I really, really needed the sleep. So that was my body telling me, you need to slow down. And my intuition has been telling me, take a break, take a break. I was like, no, I have to get this done. So when you don't listen, things do happen. And for me, it was getting sick for a couple of days. My body was like, we told you, slow down. So we have to be really good about listening to that intuition. And you can do tappings too. There are tappings out there. Just do a Google search for tappings. Brad Yates is one who has tappings. There is someone else too, and I'm not going to be able to think of his name off the top of my head here, but I will put a link. I will put Brad Yates' name and a link to a YouTube video for tapping for him and this other person as well, because I know they both have tappings. Sometimes I still, like, my brain is in a fog. Sometimes I still can't catch a word here and there. I cannot think of the man's name, but I will put it there. And, you can do the tapping, do the meditation, go find my third eye meditation. I'm going to make a much better one and a longer one that will be for sale on my website. So look for that in the coming days. You can still do the chakra clearing meditation, which is also helpful. So that's on my website right now. And there's also just a healing meditation. So those two things are there. All right, so it sounds like your message today, my loves, was to please keep listening to that intuition. Don't ignore it. Even if you don't like what it's telling you, if it's telling you to stay away from someone and that's not what you want to hear, it's telling you that for a reason. It's avoiding a tower moment for you, because if you're around somebody who isn't good for you, then you're going to end up getting hurt. And your intuition is really just trying to protect you and keep you safe. All right, same thing with a situation. If you're looking at a job and your intuition is saying, no, 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 there's a reason. And, you may not know what it is now, but if you take that job and then you suddenly realize that now you're in a toxic work environment because you didn't listen to your intuition, you're going to be regretful. So take the time, slow down, listen to that intuition. All right, so I wanted to pull a card for you before I ended this, and it is from the Butterfly Oracle Cards for Life Changes by Doreen Virtue. It is relationship dynamics, and it says, this card indicates that there have been some changes in one or more of your relationships with your family, friends, or romantic partner. There's a sense that you have less in common and are growing apart. This may be because you are now more sensitive and more conscious of your feelings when you're with certain people. Perhaps in the past, you've numbed your emotional awareness, and now your feelings are awake. The most important relationship of all is with yourself, so you do need to take care of your feelings and needs in this situation. Yes, relationships involve compromise, but ultimately, if you're denying yourself happiness, this will have a negative impact on the relationship. Therefore, you are guided to be honest with yourself about your needs, even if it means working with a counselor for support. As you make changes, all of your relationships will be affected. It's time for you to sort through your feelings about each of them to bring healthy balance into your life. So additional meanings could be that you're moving a relationship into a healthier direction, you're healing a relationship with yourself, individual or marital counseling, or a new person is entering the picture, changing the dynamics of other relationships. So, however that resonates with you, and if it doesn't, that's okay. You don't have to take the message. They don't always resonate. But if it's resonating with you, take that how it resonates. And if you need any kind of help, if you're struggling in any area of your life and you feel like you need some additional help, or need guidance, direction, please give me a call or contact me. You can email me at melissaoatman77@gmail.com. You can go to my website. You can text or call me. My phone number's on my website. You can get a hold of me in many ways. You can message me through Facebook. Don't stay stuck and unhappy in a relationship and a job. You're worth so much more than that. You're a beautiful, loved child of the divine, and the divine does not want you to be unhappy. So take the moment to evaluate what's going on in your life, and if you feel like there needs to be some change, work with me. I can help you through this change. I can guide you. What we do when I work with you, it's all through intuition. It is Spirit working with me and through me to help you in whatever way you need, whether it's through a Reiki healing. And remember, Reiki is not just a physical healing, it's emotional and spiritual as well. Whether it's coaching, a reading, or even past life regression. So whatever it is that you need, don't hesitate to contact me. If you just want to learn how to live a better life, you can enroll in my course, A Purposeful Pilgrimage. It's $88, but it's 23 lessons, and you have access to them anytime. You can do the lessons as many times as you want. You can go through them as slowly or as fast as you want. There is a plethora of additional resources there for you as well. Prayers, mantras, meditations, tappings. It's all there. It's all at your fingertips. You can access it at any time. It's an awesome program. It works if you work it. If you just want to learn how to live a happier life, go through that program. I promise you that it will make a difference and it will change your life. I went through a very similar program and it absolutely changed my life and is what brought me on this course to be a healer, and I have been forever changed for it, and I am so grateful for that. I would never go back to the way I was living a year ago. I'm so happy with my life right now, and you can be too. I hope that you are all happy. I hope that you are healthy. I am sending you massive love and light. Take care. Bye-bye.